welcome back to my channel for some more Demon Slayer episode recap and review. This week I will be covering episode 3 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, Sabito Makomo. I am super excited to go over this episode with you guys. Fair warning, this video will contain spoilers in case you haven't seen the series or you have been warned. Let's go! We start off this episode with Mr. Urukudaki giving us some background information regarding the Demon Slayer Corp organization. It is an organization that has been around since ancient times and it is unrecognized by the government. No one knows who founded it, but they are out here kicking demon butt. We also get some information regarding demons. Demons regenerate their limbs, wounds heal instantly, and have super strong physical power. Some of them even have unworldly powers. What an OP enemy, literally. Mr. Urukudaki tells Tanjiro he trains swordsmen and that is what he is going to do with him. He informs him that in order to join the Demon Slayer organization, he has to pass a test called Final Selection. But in order to even do the test, he has to be selected by Mr. Urukudaki. So not only does Tanjiro have to pass one test, he has to pass two. What a bummer. Throughout this episode, Tanjiro is repeatedly descending the mountain as he is much stronger and has a better skilled ability in picking up scents. Still, the traps are 10 times harder than they were in episode 2. He is training his butt off every single day, Nezuko being his motivation. During this time, Nezuko is in a sleep state. Time skips, continuing his training. Tanjiro is training to descend the mountain with his sword, which makes it a little bit difficult. He is training to swing his sword. He swings his sword every single day that he feels like his arms might fall off, but he still does it. He is also learning how to do a total concentration breathing technique and is learning how to do water form swordsmanship. So he is training regularly, constantly, with no breaks whatsoever to become stronger in order to pass Final Selection. 6 months have passed and Nezuko is still in this sleep mode. They do call the doctor to make sure that she is fine. They do not give an explanation of why she is sleeping, but she is okay. After a year of training, one day Mr. Urukudaki tells Tanjiro he has nothing more to teach him and leads him to a boulder. He then tells Tanjiro that in order to send him to Final Selection, Tanjiro must slice through this boulder with his sword. Only those who survive Final Selection are able to join the Demon Slayer organization. Leaving Tanjiro, Mr. Urukudaki never teaches him anything else. And Tanjiro's a little worried because he's like, I don't think a boulder is something a sword can cut through. Regardless, he tries and tries and tries. After 6 more months pass, he cannot cut through the boulder and he is reaching his limit. He feels like giving up. He's worried that Nezuko is still in this sleep mode when all of a sudden a dude with the fox mask shows up and he tells Tanjiro to stop whining, that a man bears his pain in silence. He then lunges at Tanjiro wielding a wooden sword and tells Tanjiro he is slow, immature, and not strong. What has he been doing? The lessons that Mr. Urukudaki has been teaching him haven't had any effect. Tanjiro tells him he is pushing forward. He is trying every day, but he doesn't think he can make it anymore. And this fox mask kid tells him the only thing a man can do is push more forward. He challenges Tanjiro and Tanjiro is worried. He's like, I have a real sword and you have a wooden sword. And the kid laughs and is like, you really think you're gonna get a hit on me? Thanks for worrying, but no you won't. Because I've cut through the boulder and I'm way more stronger than you. And he does knock Tanjiro out. He then turns to a girl, which is another new character we are introduced to, and tells her that he leaves the rest to her. When Tanjiro awakens, he is so shocked with the swordsmanship skills that this kid has shown. The little girl introduces herself as Makomo and says the boy's name is Sabito, and she tells him that she will help him out and she is going to be looking after him. Makomo points out Tanjiro's flaws and his bad habits. She explains what total concentration breathing is basically blood boosting through your body, making you physically strong as a demon. Tanjiro notices that Makomo is a strange girl. She doesn't really answer any of his questions when he asks her where she's from or how she got there, nothing. She just tells him that her and Sabito were orphans who were raised by Mr. Urukudaki and they love him very much, and there are other children watching him as well. Sabito occasionally returns to fight Tanjiro, but Tanjiro still cannot beat him. After another 6 months pass, Tanjiro feels like he is finally going to be able to beat Sabito. And I like this look Tanjiro has, that long hair. It looks cool. I love it. Dig it. As they engage in this last challenge, Tanjiro's blade finally reaches Sabito first and he is able to cut Sabito's mask in half. Sabito has this sad yet happy smile and he seems so proud of him. And Makomo tells Tanjiro to not forget what he has done and to beat that guy too, as they both vanish. Tanjiro then comes to realize he has finally cut through the boulder. Yes, you did it, Tanjiro! And we are off to final selection. This episode was so freaking amazing, guys. Let me give you the highlights, please. One of the episode highlights was the information that we got in the beginning of the episode. I really enjoyed the fact that they let us know a little bit more about the Demon Slayer organization as well as the demons, and we also got two very important pieces of information. Demons can only be killed by sunlight and by decapitation with the special sword that I'm assuming is a sword that the Demon Slayers carry with them. That was super cool to know, so nothing else works on them. So even if Tanjiro would have used that rock in the second episode, that wouldn't have worked. It literally had to be sunlight or, like I said, decapitation with a special sword. That is crazy that they only have two weaknesses. Another episode highlight was the introduction of Sabito and Makomo. I really enjoyed these introductions of new characters. One thing that I did want to point out that I noticed was that Sabito has that same pattern robe as Giyu does. I know Makomo said that her and Sabito weren't siblings, so maybe Sabito and Giyu are a little related. Maybe they have, some background story together. I am super excited. I want to know why they kind of have the similar robes. Another highlight that I enjoyed about this episode was the training. The training was done super well and it didn't take long, Normally in other anime series, we always have to wait for our protagonist to go through episodes sometimes of training, and this was done so fast yet so clean and cool. Like, I really enjoyed it. It just, we saw him bust his butt for 2 freaking years trying to get stronger, learning all these new things he has to learn. And honestly, the total concentration breathing technique looks so freaking hard. I'm just literally sitting there like, how? I walk like 10 steps up those freaking stairs and I'm out of breath. I'm like, this kid is freaking training his butt off for his sister. That is insane. And of course, as always, the animation just keeps getting better and better. That moment when Sabito and Tanjiro were engaging in that little challenge, I loved how we got a little bit of sneak peek into what these fights are gonna look like, and they honestly look so freaking badass, guys. I'm super excited. I cannot wait for the next episode. I am super happy with this series as always. And the last highlight that I did want to point out was the humor. I like how they're adding humor, but it's not too much where you forget the seriousness of the series. It's like perfect. It's like they perfectly choose when to kind of sneak in that humor. Like the moment where he's swinging his sword and he's like, ow, I swing it every single day. And he's done 1,000, and then Mr. Urukudaki tells him, you need to do more. And Tanjiro's little face is like, ah! I like that little like black and white animation. I thought that was really cool, like the little sketch. It looked awesome. Then I just cannot wait for the other episodes. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. And please leave your comments below. I am always open for discussions. Thank you so much for your time. You guys have a nice day. Merly Deets out.